And thank you so much for being patient with us. My name is Sharon Mandor, and I know they're expecting to hear a particular voice. Just hold on, do like this, calm down. We're about to have our life coach, our love coach, talk to us. But good morning. Right now, we're about to go into something. I just want us to hear from our guest in the studio, the owner of the program, actually, that's going to be talking to us for the next, how many minutes. We're going to take a break, but then we want to hear from Pastor Charles IKOABASI. So many of us have been expecting this program. He's here live for a Q&A session. Is a no holds barred question and answer session. Anything you want to talk about, love, heartbreak, marriage, courtship, whatever it is, our love coach is in the studio. I want us to welcome Pastor Charles IKOABASI, the pastor of Living Word Family Church. Good morning to you, Pastor Charles.
Good morning, Mando. It's a privilege.
You're welcome. Finally, we get to see you. Welcome.
Finally, too, I get to see you too.
How is Uyo treating you?
Uyo is great. He is good.
Love it.
Lovely people.
Thank you very much.
Hospitable people.
Thank you. You are part of us, so.
Yeah.
Welcome. So, can you just give us in like 2 minutes what we should be expecting after 8 o'clock? I know we're going to be back by 8:15 for us to continue this program because we have to go pay some bills from 8 to 8:15.
Sure.
So just let us know what we are going to be expecting.
What should you be expecting? Expect fireworks.
Okay.
Also expect healing for heartbreaks, broken hearts. Expect some deep wisdom. Expect some things you've not heard before about love, dating, and marriage. And at the end of the day, you'll be happy you tuned in.
Thank you very much, Pastor Charles. All right, so just as you heard earlier, we are going to be taking a break to go pay some bills. And we will be back at 8:15. So be expecting fireworks. It's good that we are all at home today, so we can even pay close attention to it. This is very, very important, and this is very, very timely, if you ask me. So yeah, thank you very much, and stay with us. Pastor Charles, see you on the other side of the hour.
All right, I'll be here.
All right. three words that hold so much power, yet they come with so many questions. And I really want to ask, have you ever found yourself wondering, am I wasting my time in this talking stage? Should I really marry for love or being a financial security? Is forgiveness possible after betrayal? Well, wonder no more. For the first time ever, Pastor Charles IKOABASI is live for a no holds barred, tell it as it is question and answer session on dating, courtship and marriage. No scripts, no filters, just real, raw and relatable conversations. So from the confusion of modern dating to the deep struggles within marriage, we are diving into the questions that matter the most. So if you've ever wanted to ask that burning relationship question, for those of us that have been following his programs back to back, from at first it was 7 o'clock to 7:30 and now it's 7:30 to 8 o'clock. Some of us have questions. Now is the chance. Send in your questions on our Facebook. The handle is Memories965FM. You see the flyer there. Just drop it as a comment, or you go on WhatsApp and send a message to 0809 066 6909. I'll take that number again, 0809 066 6909. Of course, we're going to open the phone lines real soon for you to be part of the conversation. So for the next 45 to 1 hour is just you, me, and Pastor Charles breaking down love the right way. So stay tuned, stay engaged, and let's talk about it. Welcome back, Pastor Charles IKOABASI.
Thank you, Sharon.
Welcome. All right, so I want us to start from foundation, which is the talking stage.
Okay.
Yes, let's start with talking stage. Many people complain that they are stuck in the talking stage for months with no clear direction. Right? How do you know when to move forward or even to walk away in the talking stage?
The talking stage. Well, when people are stuck in the talking stage, it is because, number one, they don't know what they want. You don't go into marriage without defining your intent, your expectations, and without even knowing who you are. When you know who you are, you will know what you want. A dog doesn't, how it wants to eat. It leaves. So when you are connected with something that looks like vegetation and you're a dog, you run away. Okay. So, getting stuck in the talking stage simply means that you don't know who you are. When you don't know who you are, you don't know what you're going to in life, you'll be stuck there. And then number two, some people are just playing games. They know what they're doing. They're just wasting your time. So if you are a lady and you meet a guy that is not saying what you expect him to say, after 3 months, you do one of two things. You either walk away, run for dear life, or you ask him, oh boy, what's happening here? I got some things to do. I got my life to live. You need to get out of my face or tell me what you are here for.
There are some people that would respond with, let's see how it goes now. It's just 3 months.
Oh,
let's see how it goes.
No. Well, I used to as a man. Yes, it should be enough. Because you would have sized her up. Being a man, you would have sized her up. A lady too would have sized up the man. And 3 months is enough. God doesn't take babe. Okay. So there is nothing like, I don't know, let's see how it goes. It's some of those let's see how it goes is why some people are stuck in the rut, stuck in a relationship that will last for 7 years. I have somebody very close to me who was stuck with this guy for 7 years. I mean 7 years.
It's 7 years.
And after 7 years, the guy said, I am not doing again. Yes. I'm not telling you fables, I'm not telling you stories, I'm telling you something that happens within my ministry. Okay, and that's not the first one, that's not, the only one. So you see, the buck stops on the table of the lady. Yes, lady should know when to run. Because when you tell the guy, look, I got work to do. You can't stay here to waste my time. The guy will be forced to think and to make up his mind. If he can't make up his mind, then he doesn't want you. Because honestly, if I see a piece of clothing in the boutique and I really want it, I will go back home, borrow the money, and buy it. But if I'm still dancing around the piece of clothing, dancing around the suit, the jacket, the shirt, I don't really want it. That means I have options.
Yeah.
That means because honestly, Sharon, if I truly love you and I'm single, I'll come for you. I don't want a man to take you from me. That's how it works. Love is not something that you have to think forever about. You either love or you don't love. You either like or you don't like. God either said or God didn't say. All right. So I don't think you should be stuck in that position for too long. No. And if the guy asks you, I see, I'm talking in terms of the roles now. It is the role of the guy to say, will you marry me? So I'm defining the roles clearly and what each person has to do. So if the lady tells the guy after a while, look, what do you want? And the guy says, okay, give me some time. Some time means how much time? You need to define things so that you don't miss your chances as a lady. And even you look, guys play games. They know what they want, but they still want you around them. Okay? Yes, sometimes ladies do the same thing. Okay, they're not telling you yes, they're not telling you no, they just keep you hanging. So each person should define what he or she wants and then go for what he or she wants. If they is not giving you an answer after 3 months, then they doesn't like you. Just don't stop deceiving yourself. Because if she likes you, she will grab you. You understand what I mean, Sharon? That's how it works. So there is nothing like we are stuck in the talking stage. If you are stuck there, then somebody is playing games. One of you is playing games.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I want to take it back to the story that you told of the 7 years in relationship. Now there are certain people that think that, oh, I cannot date this person I can't date somebody for less than 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. I need to get to know the person before getting into marriage with the person. So is 7 years too long to actually date somebody?
There must be a balance.
Okay.
If you look at our expressways that are well constructed, Uyo has very beautiful expressways. On each side you have a ditch. So in everything in life, don't fall into the ditch on the right or fall into the ditch on the left. So the way it works is that don't rush into marriage and don't stay too long in courtship or dating. So stay in the middle, let there be a balance. 7 years can be too long. You can't fully know somebody. Okay? Even in marriage, would I say that I'm still discovering my wife after 30 years of marriage?
Wow.
There are still aspects of her that I'm still discovering. And sometimes I say, wow, I didn't know this about you. And the one thing about human beings, is that human beings change. We evolve over time. I'm not what I used to be 30 years ago. 30 years ago, I was not as polished as this. Okay, I was not so much of a gentleman as this. All right. Okay, so but I've changed. So the person you know for 7 years, you think you know the person, the 8th year might be the change that you never expected. And then you can't fully know a human being. Human beings are deep. We are deep. That's how God made us. We are just like deep waters. Okay, so 7 years is a risk. Number one, you risk, if you're a Christian and you want to make heaven, you risk living in fornication. Okay, so why put yourself under pressure unnecessarily? Go marry the girl and have your fun. To avoid fornication, Paul would say, let the person have his wife. Okay, and then also you can rush into marriage and crash. Speed kills, whether on the road to work or on the road to marriage. Don't overdo it. There's something I tell people, and honestly, I'm telling the truth, and I'm not lying. This is my experience. I have never seen any couple who married after 3 months of courtship and the marriage is working today, and I'm not lying. I know people, including clergymen, who said God told me, and in 3 months they got married. You need to get for 3 months, just 3 months, and they get for 3 months, and they got married. Today the marriages are no more. The ones I know. Yes, there are exceptions. I'm not creating a rule, but can we err on the side of caution? Now let me tell you something about, taking your time to relate with a guy or a lady before you marry. It gives you time to practice relating together. Have your quarrels, have your fights. When people come to me to tell me, Pastor, I want to marry this guy, I want to marry this guy, I ask them, okay, have you quarreled before? What was the quarrel like? Let's not pretending. We're not angels. We have faults. And there's no way two people can work together, can relate together, and there will not be clashes, there will not be friction. There would be. Don't let anybody deceive you. So if you have never had a clash with this guy, then you don't know him. So if you are still pretending, give it more time. So the time of dating and courtship gives you time not just to know the other person, but for you to know whether we can relate together. And you see, the courtship period gives you options. You don't have claustrophobia. You don't feel caged. You tell yourself, I can walk out of the relationship. So that gives you that gives you more confidence to relate with the guy or with the lady. But if you start quarreling inside marriage, you start having shocks, you feel as if you are in prison because you are stuck. You're married. You don't have that liberty of saying I can walk out, which you have before you get married. So it is easier to relate and get to know each other, relate with each other, overcome each other's weak points when you are still not married. So when you get into marriage, you reduce the shocks. And can I tell you this? There are shocks in every marriage, but you can reduce the number of shocks and the frequency of shocks, because the guy that you are married to is not totally a stranger. When you marry after just 3 months of meeting somebody, you are married to a stranger, total stranger, and you are going to meet with shocks. And there are no shock absorbers because you are not prepared for what you are going to see. But before then, you are prepared. If you had some time to live together, I know this girl sleeps too much. I know this guy, the way he eats like, a tiger. You know some of those things. You are not surprised. But in marriage, that could be a marriage breaker because of the shock elements.
You said 3 months, and I know a particular couple, though they're still together, but with a lot of turbulence. They got married after 2 weeks.
You know why you have the turbulence? Not really because they're not meant for each other, but because they are going through what they should have gone through before marriage. The day of the football match is not the day you practice.
Yes.
They are still in the practice stage. You don't practice during marriage after you've wedded. That's not the time to practice. And when you begin to fight so much within your marriage, the tension, the level of the heat in the home, would be possibly unbearable. Not good for the children, not good for the two of you, not good for the optics. Those who are watching from outside would not like it.
Yeah.
But if two people fight who are not married, they're fine, not a problem. They will go back to their father's houses, and then come back after 1 week, and then they adjust. All right. So you need that period of adjustment to each other's idiosyncrasies.
Okay, so during the talking stage, I believe even while dating, there are people that just ghost each other. You ghost your partner, no explanation. You just not talk to the person, no reason. You just stop communication. Is it ever justifiable? Why do people do that?
People like forming, especially Gen Zs. It's all part of the play, the love play. And you allow it, it's okay, it's fun. It's part of the love play. You look at the animal kingdom, they do love play. See the cockerel dancing around the hen, They do that, it's part of the transaction between a man and a woman. They are transacting. Okay. They are negotiating what can be allowed in the relationship, what cannot be allowed. This makes me angry, this makes me sad. I'm also a human being, don't take me for granted. So it's a negotiation stage. And can I say this? Negotiate with your partner before you marry him. Because once you marry him as a woman, negotiations stop. The guy is in full control. So what you want in your marriage, get it before you marry. Same thing with the man. What you will not take in your marriage, what you will not chew, don't even smell it. Let your partner know that, look, this is a no-no. This is a no-go area. I'm not going to take this. So, yeah, people do those kinds of forming. Okay, we don't talk for a while, just to prove a point. I wouldn't say don't do it, okay, but just know the boundaries. It's all part of negotiating. That's a sign that you're not interested. That's a sign that you're taking for granted. I learned in communication that you cannot not communicate. Everything communicates. Your silence communicates. Your ghosting communicates. Your cold silent treatment communicates. Everything communicates in love. in a love relationship. So you don't talk to me for 1 week, you've told me something. We don't talk for 2 days, you run back to me, you've told me something. So those are the negotiations. I'm reading your body language. So you see, people should be emotionally intelligent, men especially. Yeah, women are emotionally intelligent, but women, they are too passionate. Women oftentimes ignore the signs. They know the truth, they see the facts, they know that this guy is violent, or they know this guy doesn't love him. But women oftentimes live in a false world, and they like it. Yeah, they just want to live in a fantasy world. Okay, so a guy doesn't talk to you for 1 month. What does that tell you? When he marries you, you can just leave you and walk away for 1 year, or just pretend you are not there in the house. Doesn't talk to you. We don't want that in marriage. So let me use that platform to say this: when you are dating, don't ignore the signs. The signs of what will happen in marriage are always there. In my counseling sessions, I have discovered that the signs are always there. I'll ask a lady, how did you start? Okay, how was your courtship? Where did you meet this person? How was it when you met? And all that. And I'll say that whatever they're talking about now was there. Maybe in a little form, it was always there.
Yeah.
So you need to watch the signs. Not talking for 1 month is a no-no. It just shows that there's no love. Somebody is not loving. So ghosting or whatever must have a limit.
Okay, this question is one that has been debated over the years since the introduction of social media. Should couples post each other on social media, or should we just be keeping our relationship private?
Keep your relationship private, especially in marriage. Well, okay, it depends on what you are posting.
Okay,
you don't live your life on social media. Don't live your life on social media. Every quarter you have, put on social media. Okay, your husband buys you a pen, put it on social media. No, don't do that. Be controlled and be intentional about what you post on social media. Post what you want. Let there be a message. Communicate love on social media. Let people know that this man is taken. And let people know that this guy is taken. That's your concern about social media. Okay. It's not to put everything. You travel abroad, you go for a date, everything on social media. No. Because there are bad people out there. There are those who are envying you, especially if you are just dating or courting. When you are dating, you are not married. You have not put a ring to it. There's no covenant. When you are courting, you're not married. Somebody can grab the guy from you. Especially the day you quarrel and you put on social media, somebody will go behind and say, oh boy, how far now? Sorry, she not paying you too much. And from that time, discussions will start. And let me take you back to the question about ghosting. When your guy or your babe does not talk to you for 1 month, somebody is talking to you. Somebody is talking to her. Don't get it twisted. And I tell this to married people also. Whoever your wife is talking to controls your marriage. I don't mean who's talking to your wife. Whoever your wife is talking to. Let me explain. Your wife goes, you are quarreling in the house, and your wife is talking to somebody, or you are not always there for your wife, and your wife is always talking to this guy. And women like somebody who listens to them. Whoever listens to your wife has power over your wife. Because your wife gets emotional about that person, your wife gets to like that person, your wife sees that person as a strong support structure, and if that person opens his mouth to say yes, no, how, your wife will likely follow. So be careful who your wife is talking to. So be there to let your wife talk to you. That's the point I'm making. The same thing in dating and courtship. Let there be let the dead air in broadcasting. We talk about dead air. Let the dead air not be too long. Okay, not the silent. Don't let the silent moments be too long, because people must talk. Human beings must communicate.
So if I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to somebody else.
And when the talking to the other person gets too long, you may lose that relationship. So you better get back. If you are there, you are dating, you've not spoken to your fiancé or your fiancée for a long time, you better pick that phone and stop forming and stop prouding. Better pick that phone and call. What are you prouding about? I thought you're going to marry him, you're going to marry her. What's that posing all about? Please,
the
reduce
marriage
the
will still
posting.
happen.
It will still happen.
We're passing a message.
you,
But you know that
you don't pass the message now. Make you move forward.
There's a popular couple on social media. I really don't even want to call the name, but by my description, you might just know these people. Very popular on social media. We knew the lady before she got married to the man, and they've been posting all sorts of content on social media. Now, she went on a podcast at some point, and you know, people started talking about, before she even went for the podcast, people started bashing her for posting everything in quote about her marriage. You know, she was always posting. She has a business, right? But most of her posts were about her husband, her marriage, and all of that. They'll create contents and everything. So for some people it was cute, for some people it was overreaching and all of that. So people started bashing her that, oh, now that you're posting your thing on social media, don't be shocked if we're all stakeholders. God forbid. Yeah, God forbid if it goes south now, all of us, we all have a say in this marriage. She went on a podcast and she talked about how she can use anything for content. Now, social media would pay you for creating content, and so this is how she has decided to make her money from whatever goes on in her marriage.
No, that's wrong. Marriage is private. It's between the two people. It's not a public thing. Okay, the public thing is meant to encourage others. At best, it's just meant to encourage the younger people, and you know, just to also celebrate. You see, also in marriage, I believe that marriages should not just focus. You see, there's a tendency for marriages to focus on problems. But people who are not married, please get to know this. When you are dating, it's all about the positives, okay, the optics, what people see and all that. But once you marry, problems begin to show. Rent. Need to fix the car. Babies. We don't have babies. You know. So we need to intentionally take our minds off problems and celebrate little wins. So that's what you do on social media. Just had a baby. You celebrate it. You had the 30th anniversary. You celebrate it. Those are the things you put on social media. Okay, not the details, not the day-to-day stuff of your marriage. Your marriage should not be the major content on social media. I mean, it's just preposterous. Why would you do that?
There's another couple. I just remembered this one now. They're not married yet, but they have a child on social media. Both of them are content creators, and I don't know where they met, but both of them are content creators. They make their different skits and all of that. When they had their first child, we all knew them together. In fact, I thought they were married.
Okay.
But they weren't. Recently, he engaged her, and they're supposed to get married this year, and all of that. And recently, we saw the lady going live on TikTok to complain that the relationship has been dissolved because the man cheats. The man he lives a fake life. He doesn't have money. He spends her money and all of that. He even as many times as she has complained that, you're cheating, I don't like this, he will just pretend for the first 2 months or something like that and then go back into doing all sorts of things. She went live on TikTok and was complaining to the extent that the mother, who is also a content creator, that's the mother of the husband to be, who is also a content creator, went live and saw the whole thing, joined the TikTok live. I was begging her to shut it down and everything, and people were just talking about how do you bring your relationship to social media like that?
No, you don't. You see, why possibly she had to go online with her troubles was because she also went online too much about when things were good. So she had to explain to everybody, I don't owe anybody. Okay, I don't owe the whole world. That's what I mean. I don't owe the whole world what happens in my marriage. I don't owe them explanations. And you see, one thing about the social media is that it's permanent. You may think you brought it down, but somebody has picked it.
No one ever forgets.
Nobody forgets. Your grandchildren will see it. Okay, so you're quarreling today. You put it live, put it online. Look about when you make up. It doesn't really work that way. Okay, so keep it private because things change. What's not working now may work tomorrow, and you come under too much pressure when you are online, and then again you begin to live a fake life in your marriage because you are doing things for content. You are pretending. You are doing things because you believe you owe the online audience something. So you do things at home for people. You put yourself under unnecessary pressure. Unnecessary pressure. Your marriage is not for people outside. Your marriage is for the two of you, and for God, and for your children. So let this generation be careful about displaying their dirty linens and stuff. Start by also keeping quiet when things are good. It's not everything you put online. It's not everything. Put your celebrations, that's fine, that's good, that's okay. But not everything that happens you put online. Even when your husband beats you, first of all, it's not for online audience. Find a way to solve the problem. You have a support structure. You have families on both sides. You have your church, and you have counselors. Solve it privately, so that you don't come under unnecessary pressure. You have other things to face. You have your business to face, okay, than to come under the pressure of the whole world because of your marriage.
Okay, so societal norm. Now there are people that are young people are feeling pressure from family and society to get, especially for ladies, to get married by a certain age. When you're done with school, the next thing they want to start asking is, when are you getting married? You get to 30 and then they start a prayer house for you. They start kabashing because they think that you cannot be 30 and not married. How can they handle things like that?
Well, number one, don't blame the society. And I think we should take this seriously. Marriage is cultural.
Okay.
Yeah. In every society, marriage norms are dictated by the society, by your tribe, by your race, and whatever. Why do we have so many divorces in a place like the US, the Western world, US in particular? Because that's their culture, okay? Or they don't have a culture. It's laissez-faire, anything goes. But you notice that Asian marriages would last, okay? Indian marriages would last. Chinese marriages would last because they are bound by cultural norms and expectations. African marriages too would last, but Africans, Nigerians especially, we are beginning to imbibe the laissez-faire kind of attitude, if you live in the US. Are you following me?
Yeah.
But in Nigeria here, some people have left Nigeria in this Japa kind of syndrome, and they've gone abroad, and their marriages just broke in 1 month, in 1 year, in 2 years, because they have transplanted this vegetation from its natural environment, where it is bound by cultural expectations, to a place where there are no boundaries. And the guy says, what? I have my freedom, so I can talk to this man the way I want to. I can call the police for him and all that. I can take all his money, if I sue for divorce. But in Africa, she wouldn't have done that.
Yes.
So marriage is cultural. Now, to your question, don't blame society also when they expect you to marry at 35, at 40 and not marry. And because in our culture, we expect a young lady to marry. That's the cultural expectation, and nothing is even wrong with that. When I say marriage is cultural, even biblical culture, the Bible is also a cultural framework for marriage. So marriage is cultural. So when society in Africa especially expects you to marry at a particular age, don't blame them. Okay? That's how it is in our culture. And there are also reasons for that. Late marriage is not also very good, especially for the woman, because the woman has a body clock. One has a body clock for childbirth, for sexual pleasure, menopause, and all those things. Okay? And my mentor, when I was in school, used to tell us, make hay while the sun shines. You cut a flower when it's still morning. Okay? As a lady gets older, she probably loses some of her youthful brilliance. Okay, and the younger ones begin to come up. So men who are looking for wives are going to look for younger ones. I'm giving you a fact. Let's not get it twisted. Let's not play games about it. That's how it is. Men look for younger, more,
fresher.
Fresher. So as you grow older, I'm sorry to say this, but that's the truth. Okay, as you grow older, you get pushed down the shelf, and
wow.
new products come to the front. Manufacturers know this. Supermarket people know this. They put products that are expiring, They know where they put, okay, sales and clearance sales. You know, I don't want anybody to join the clearance sales for my daughter. I don't want my daughter to do that. Okay, so marry when you are still young, marry when you are still fresh, as much as you can. But if it's not your fault, don't kill yourself. Let me balance it. God has a plan for everybody. There's a man of God in this country, very well respected, whose wife died, and he found a wife at his age who was never married. The woman was 60, possibly 60 something. You know, so God has a man for everybody. So don't kill yourself. Society puts pressure on people. I know. If you can respond. Don't be irresponsible. Don't be the type that doesn't listen to advice. But if you've tried all you can as a lady and you couldn't get married at 30, 34, 35, even 40, please hold on. Time has not passed you by. When it comes to God, there is never a better time with God. Okay? God makes all things beautiful in His time. Your own man will come. Don't give up. For anybody who's not married at 40, at 35, please don't give up. But if you are younger, listen to your parents.
Okay, there are some people that think that not everybody is supposed to get married. Do you have something to tell people like that?
Well, in every rule there are exceptions. So, what is the rule? Get married. It is not good for a man to be alone. That is the rule.
Yeah.
That's what God set up. Okay? Even nature tells us. Nature tells, I mean, there's so much that God has built into our bodies, into our system. A woman gets to a time, she begins to like babies. She wants to carry the baby. So, her body is telling her, get married, have a child. And a child needs a father. A man grows up and he gets to a point which he wants to settle down, wants to live a quiet life with a family. Your body clock is speaking to you. So by nature, we are wired to get married. But are there exceptions? Of course, there are exceptions. Oh, some people who are not married because of ministry, because of their profession.
Okay.
Those are reasons for them not to get married. But I hope you can cope with not getting married. Our bodies are also made for sex. Okay? So there comes a time when your body puts pressure on you to have sex. So you get married. So you can have legitimate sex. Simple. Beautiful. So it's not something that we need to start ringing the bell. If you don't want to get married, don't get married. No. Miserable you would be. You're very, very miserable. So that's why you enter into deeper than sex. Marriage is deeper than relationship. Marriage is deeper than I just want to have a man in my life. I want to chop his money. No, it's deeper. Marriage brings two people together as partners for something bigger than them. So, young lady, do not think that marriage, when you marry, just enjoy. Okay, after that, what? You just be miserable. And we all know about, the needs of humanity, of human beings. There are the hygiene needs. Okay, you have the security needs. You also have the fulfillment needs, self-actualization needs. Okay, of man. We satisfy the security needs, food and sex. How about actualization? How about fulfillment? They are all part of us. Are you following me?
Yeah.
So, for example, if you marry a man that doesn't allow you to fulfill your dreams, you'll be miserable. So, a girl should marry a man that will allow her to fulfill her dreams. You should also know, what are my dreams, what are my goals, what's my vision for life. Then you hook up to a man that would help you to meet those needs. That's what makes marriage pleasurable.
Okay.
Because honestly, people get tired of themselves in marriage. Husband and wife, they just get fed up. Just get out of my face.
Yeah. Because I imagine it, living with somebody for 30, 40, 50 years.
So if there's no continuous improvement, and many people should know this, keep on growing, keep on improving. Young lady, you are married now, keep on making yourself better, keep on reinventing yourself. Bring out your business self, bring out your professional self, bring out your ministry self, bring out some things that your husband has never seen in you. That way the man just gets to like you and to love you more and more. Same thing with the man. I know marriages that were about to break, but for God, because the man had remained at the same job after 30 years plus. Same job, same salary, nothing changing. The girl was excited about the man initially. Okay, married to this bobo, nice bobo, handsome, he's making money. But after a while, the man began to earn more money than the man, and the man remained where he was, not moving, not changing, and the love went cold. The love just went south. It took a lot. In fact, till now there's a struggle in that relationship because the man refused to reinvent himself.
All right.
Just like you change your clothes. All right, that's how it is. Keep changing, even physically. Yeah. At 50, you can still look very beautiful. At 54, 55, 56, and my wife's still very beautiful, very beautiful. Even at her age. So when she walks around with her children, it's like, oh, your big sister. So it's the function of reinventing. Remodel yourself, evolve.
Okay, I like that you ended with that, because there are certain people that feel like, oh, I've entered marriage, let me just leave myself, my husband has married me, that's all that matters. But let's talk about something that's also very trending now. A lot of women feel like if men cannot fund their lifestyles before marriage, who are they to get married? I mean, if you cannot buy me the latest phone, if you cannot buy me an expensive hair, if you cannot do, make me a big girl, then we can't be together.
They want to remain the big girls forever.
Yeah.
Well, the truth is that money is important in marriage. Money is important in marriage. Money is the icing on the cake. Money makes it sweet. Money makes you able to achieve your dreams. Oh, come on, it's fun if you can take your wife around the world on vacations. It adds juice, it adds, sweetness to that relationship. But the real deal is not the money. You can't marry money. Your husband has so much money, but it's not there for you. Doesn't show you love, might even be abusive. It's not there to even listen to you. Those are the intrinsic needs of man, of a woman, and of a man. Even men do it, marry for money, and then the woman is not there for you. The man treats you like a rag, So money does not make a good marriage. It doesn't. So it's okay every man should have what it takes to take care of a woman. Okay, you cannot be the head of a home without responsibility. Leadership comes with responsibility. I know men who have said, why should it be the man? Oh no, that's irresponsible talk. And you say you are the head of the home.
I've heard that too.
That's wrong.
Yes, I've heard that too.
I think that's just, ignorance. Ignorance. Because the truth is this: a woman easily submits to a man that pays her bills. It's easy for her. It's easier for her. You understand? Age and material things, okay, being able to provide helps a woman to respect. Age, wisdom, and material ability helps the woman to respect the man. So nothing is wrong in that, but don't take it too far that you must be able to have everything. The only thing you look for before you marry a man is, does he have the capacity? Does he have the skills set? Does he have what it takes? Does he have the drive to make money in future? Because you see, money makes up wings and flies away. The man may even have money today when he's dating you, spoils you silly. But after 2 years, the money may fly away. Or money may go. So what do? Are you going to divorce him? So money is not the first thing. Money is not the foundational thing. It's not fundamental to making a choice, although it is contributory to making a choice. A man should be able to take care of you.
Okay.
Depending on your lifestyle.
All right, so I just want to remind you, the listener, that the phone lines will be opened in a bit. I just have one or two questions more before we open the phone lines, and then you can also drop your questions on Facebook. The handle is Memories965FM. We have the flyer there where you could just go drop your comment, and then on WhatsApp the number is 0809 066 6909. So I want to ask two questions before we go to audience's questions. The first one has to do with cheating.
Cheating?
Yes. Should cheating be forgiven? Should I forgive my cheating partner?
Anything is forgivable. Love covers what? The multitude of sins.
Yeah.
It's forgivable, but it's your choice. It's your choice, because the Holy Book tells us that one reason why you may divorce your spouse is for cheating. That's one reason. Sexually, okay, because there are other forms of cheating. There are other forms of unfaithfulness, okay, breaking trust. But fornication is a heavy thing. It's adultery rather. It's a very heavy offense. Because sex is deep. Sex is a covenant, okay, and when you begin to carry that which belongs to your man, which belongs to your woman, and give somebody else outside, it's like breaking a glass cup. How do you put it back? It's difficult. You've shattered somebody's emotions. You've broken trust. You make it difficult for that person to trust you with the other gender and trust you to even be alone. The person lives in a world of anxiety, wondering, what is he doing now? What is she doing now? So, but you can forgive. But can I also take it further, that while forgiveness is a decision, healing is a process.
Okay.
Yeah. I may choose to forgive, but give me time to heal. I can heal.
That's time apart.
No, not time apart, but don't expect me to jump at you the way I used to in the meantime. For example, a woman catches her husband cheating and she chose to forgive. She may not really be able to respond like before sexually immediately. It may take her time. It may take her time to express herself, express her love the way she used to. But that she has even forgiven and has chosen to stay in the marriage is enough comment. You should commend her for that. But don't expect her to be normal immediately. She may not be. Give her time. She also needs assurances that will help her to heal. You need to intentionally do things that will reinforce trust so that she can also heal. Time is a healer. Actions are also healers. Let there be reinforcing action from you to show her that yes, truly you've repented. Truly you're not going to do it again. So, and then to the person whose trust has been thrown in the well, you should also give yourself, do not think that the pain you feel means unforgiveness. Yeah, you may still feel the pain of what happened. When you think about it, the pain will be there. Don't let it deceive you that you're not forgiven, because you're forgiven, but the pain will still be there for a while until time passes. Even your physical wounds heal with time. They don't heal immediately except Jesus comes down, except there's a miracle. Even your broken hand, your twisted ankle would heal over time. Same thing, broken hearts heal over time. But you are forgiven. You keep telling yourself, I've forgiven him, I've forgiven him, I've forgiven him. So it can be forgiven. Cheating can be forgiven. But the choice is yours.
I like that you're really specific about the gender, because I was looking out for that. Because why is it that women will easily forgive a man that's cheating, but when the tables turn, men will kick you out?
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Not all men do that. It's also cultural, but that's one part of culture that is not nice. One popular comedian told me once that it is African for a man to cheat.
Oh, I've heard that though. I've heard that.
No,
that it's in their nature to be polygamous.
No, that's wrong. That's wrong. You don't have a license to cheat. Culture, our culture seems to forgive a man that cheats, but does not forgive a man that cheats. We need to erase that part of our culture. Okay, we are both human beings. Husband is a human being, wife is a human being. We all both have feelings. Okay, so men, please also be ready to forgive a woman, your wife that cheats. Forgive and let the past go. Okay, and woman also forgive your man. Both parties should forgive. Both parties should forgive.
Okay. The next.
I think why they say that it's in the nature of a man to cheat is because a woman, it takes time for a woman to cheat. When a woman loves, she loves. Some things push a woman out, but when a woman loves, she loves all her heart. Because intimacy for a woman is emotional, but for a man it is physical. A woman would love you before she gives her body to you, but a man doesn't need love. So don't be surprised that your husband is lusting after your house girl. it means nothing to him. Okay, it just means nothing. So women should understand that and put boundaries.
Pastor Charles, no.
No, hold on. I'm telling you the way it is.
That's difficult to understand.
Not the way it should be. For a man, sex is food. Yeah. Okay. For the woman, sex is love. It's a tough one.
It is.
But that's how it is. So, what is the lesson for us? The lesson for us is, number one, woman, you have young people, young ladies living in your house. Let the boundaries be very clear. Let dressing in your home let there be decorum in dressing. Every adult teenage girl that lives in your house must be properly dressed all the time. Their rooms are not available to the males in your house. The woman should take charge of her home. Okay, that's the lesson. And then man, also control yourself. Okay, and put boundaries. All right, So how did we get here? We got here because we talked about a woman going out. It takes a lot for a woman to go out. It takes a lot. But for a man can easily go out if he doesn't have self-control, if he doesn't have God inside of him, he doesn't fear God. The fear of God helps a man more than love for his wife. Yeah.
Okay, so let me go on Facebook. I'm just going to be asking you the questions from the followers, from the audience, one by one.
Okay.
And please remember that phone lines are now open. 0803 085 7755, 0803 085 7755, or 0809 066 6909, 0809 066 6909. We have messages on Facebook and WhatsApp. Let me start with Facebook. A wife is always receiving beating from her husband whenever he is drunk. His family always supports him, and this keeps giving him boldness to do it. This last one, he tried to strangulate her, and in the process of liberating herself, she hit his mouth and blood spilled, and the family began to abuse her on phone. What should the family of this girl do, sir? They have been tolerating this boy, but no change.
It's very simple. Simple but difficult. Only the living can marry. Stay alive to marry. Okay, so move out of the house before you die. Okay, marriage should not be a death sentence. Marriage is done by force. Okay, I'm not saying divorce the man. No, there are two different things. Divorce is a process. It's a legal process which puts an end to that relationship. Okay, but you can stay apart physically. Move out. Go back to your parents' house until there's a resolution, until the man's head is well reset, and then you can go back. So until there's a resolution in the conflict, the woman should just stay away.
When you say the head should reset, that means there's a possibility of a violent person changing.
Well, what do we say? We just have to keep hope alive and believe that the man's head will reset. Oftentimes, it doesn't happen. I agree with you. So you see, when there is a broken foundation, very little you can do. That's why we advise young people who are going into marriage, look well before you leap. Okay, not that your fiancé or whoever is already slapping you before you marry, and you say he loves me. What kind of love is that? And you still go into it. You still go and wed the same guy, or the woman has been slapping you before you got married, and you go into that marriage. So look before you leave. Don't rush into these things. And behavior takes time to show. Give it time, and then you see this guy in his element. You see him who he really is. It takes time for people to come out of their forming and out of their pretense. So give it time so you can see that person in all his ramifications, and observe how he treats his people, his sisters, his brothers, his parents, how he treats his workers, how he treats other drivers while he's driving. Those are the things that will tell you what you are going into. Sometimes the person you want to marry may pretend and be so nice to you. What do you want him to be? Of course he will be nice. Okay, so you need to look outside, think outside the box, watch out for the signs. The signs often are small, so that you can avoid abuse. Now, why did I go that length to give you that background? Because some things may not be solvable. Some things you just have to live with the consequence of certain issues. If it means you staying apart for life, please stay apart for life. But there are consequences. You may not remarry. If you're a Christian, Bible says divorce, don't remarry, okay, that kind of thing. But as you lay your bed, so you lie. So marriage is a very heavy thing. You don't enter into marriage unadvisedly. Okay, you don't enter into marriage in a rush, because there are consequences, there are implications. Marriage kills and marriage makes alive. So why am I saying that? If the guy's head does not reset, then stay away from him.
Okay.
Don't go and kill yourself. And some women also beat their husbands, I hope you know.
Yeah, I've heard.
These things happen.
I've heard.
Okay.
Just a follow-up to that. How do you know when it is not solvable? How do you know that, oh, this person is never going to change? What if you look at the background and you see that this person is actually kind to other people around him or them? Because it could be.
Are you talking about somebody who's not yet married?
Yes, someone that is not yet married.
You do your best. Marriage is a risk, but take calculated risks, take educated risk, take informed risk. Err on the side of caution. Don't err on the side of rush, because you can never fully know a human being. So I agree with you. So do your best within the time you have. Give yourself time. Be intentional about the time you give for dating. Tell yourself, I won't marry until I've known this guy for 6 months, for 7 months, or for 1 year. Even the time that you go about visiting the family, it's also time you're using to observe him.
Yeah.
You observe the family, look at the family, because an apple does not drop very far from its tree. Sometimes don't look at the man or the woman, look at the brothers. You know what is in their genes, whether there's fight in their genes, whether there's unfaithfulness in their genes, in their family, in their space, in their family culture. You look at the way they behave. That's how you know who you're going to marry. So there are many things to look at. Okay, so, and then pray. God loves us. God does not wish anybody bad marriage. I'm telling you the truth. It's just that we look at the wrong variables before we marry. We look at money. We look at figure eights. We look at beauty. You look at front and back. And so we miss God. I didn't marry because I found Miss Nigeria. No. I was very matured about, as young as I was. I married at 29. I met her at 28, I think. 27, there about July. Okay. Yeah, in 1.5 years I got married after I met her in July. 1 year like that, you know. I looked at the fundamentals. Godliness. Is she going my way? Would she complement my ministry? Even at my age, I knew that I had a calling. So I married a woman that would complement my calling. A woman that had maturity. I also look for a woman that can do business. Oh yeah, because I knew that I'm not a marketer. I don't know how to sell anything. I'll give you free of charge. If I want to sell my car for 10 million and you price for 1 million, I may end up giving it to you out of sympathy. So I needed a woman that can do business. When things are rough with me, she can take over. So I was very fond of that. It's like the stock market. You don't go buying stock because they have a fine building. You look at the statistics. Are they profitable? Are they just being profitable today? Were they profitable 10 years ago? Who are the owners of the business? Who are the funders of the business? You look at those, fundamentals. Same thing in marriage. Okay. So why did I say that? I said that because God loves us and God leads us in the path of good marriages. But sometimes we are looking at the wrong things. That's why we end up with abusive wives and abusive husbands. Okay. That's the problem.
Okay, still on that, would you say that someone that is willing to, maybe somebody that is violent, right, says, oh, I want to go through therapy, let's see how it goes. Do you think that therapy can actually reverse
yes.
It can?
Yes, it can. Anger management therapy.
Yeah.
You see, it shows that there's a willing heart. The problem is that some people are not willing to change. They believe they know it all. Especially the men. They just believe that they know it all. Okay, who are you? I married you, you are my slave. They narcissism. Yeah. They want to be worshipped. They want the woman in their life to worship them. And they don't believe the woman is anything. They want to be gods. Okay. So there are such men who don't want to change. But if you see a man, honestly, Sharon, we are all human beings. We all have weaknesses. No, angels don't marry. Angels don't marry, human beings marry.
Yeah.
And human beings have faults. All of us have. But we are all work in progress. So when you see that your husband or your wife is willing to change, you give it time. Okay, and you help him because he's willing. And then you also put structures in place. I'm talking about married people now. I'll soon come to the unmarried. You put structures in place. You let your pastor know that we have a situation in our household. Tell your man, tell your husband, I will call pastor. And there are people that they must not call me on their behalf, on their head.
Yeah.
So no, don't call pastor. It's okay now. We know they play with you. Now here they play now. And then there are families are involved.
Yeah.
So that they are watching over you. While marriage is private, there comes a time when marriage has to become the baby of the community. That's why marriage in threefold. Marriage is in three folds. Our kind of marriage is in three folds. Because while marriage is private, marriage is also something that is watched over by the society. Number one, the government. If there's too much violence, talk to the police. And the police will make this guy or this woman to write an undertaking. That becomes the fear that keeps him from smashing your head. Because the police, the government, the country is aware. That's why registry wedding is also important. Civil wedding. It protects the marriage. Love is not enough to make a marriage to work. Love is not enough. Put a ring on the love. Put a covenant on the love. Put protection on the love. And a civil wedding puts that protection. So it can't just work out on you anyhow. Because I say, I don't marry you again. It works out. You have to go through the process of divorce. Then number two, native law and custom. The whole village is involved. So when matters get to a head, the village is watching. Family is watching. Then the church also. So in these three folds, you protect your marriage.
Okay.
So all these three structures can help a violent person to correct his head.
Okay.
So get them involved.
Okay.
And can I say this also, that stopping abuse is everybody's responsibility. Responsibility of the neighbors. Yes. Neighbor, you hear somebody crying in your neighbor's house, please rush and knock the door, call the police or whatever.
Okay, I really wanted this conversation to go on maybe till 9:30, but as it is now, we have to go. We still have a couple of comments and messages on WhatsApp. Maybe I'll just forward them to you, and then we'll see how we can just maybe with your subsequent episodes you can respond to those questions. Thank you very much, Pastor Charles IKOABASI, for your time here. This time felt like 15 minutes.
Honestly,
very impactful. Thank you very much, Pastor Charles IKOABASI. We're looking forward to your next episodes subsequently.
I'll try my best to contribute to humanity, make life happier for people unmarried and the married.
All right. So you've been listening to the voice of Pastor Charles IKOABASI, who is the love doctor, life coach, and love coach. He's also the lead pastor of Living Word Family Church. Thank you once again, and have a lovely flight back.
Thank you, Sharon. Nice talking to the popular Sharon.